Success. Agreement. same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
Agreement quantum.
So many people are willing to learn how to trade stocks, but are simply just unsuccessful at it. It's not that you're a bad trader.
I'm up $953, $879, $1,300!
When people come up to me and they say, Dek, I'm just not a good stock trader, there's a whole bunch of baloney.
Oh my goodness, I just made $30,000. You guys want to see a show today? 20 grand in a day so far.
You know why I make so much money shorting? Because the answers are given to me.
$37,000. We're currently up $23,000, $24,000 right now. Let's go! This is high risk, high reward. Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm going for $100,000 today. $100,000 month coming its way, baby.
You may not know everything, but all of a sudden, it's gonna click.
$30,817 in the market today. Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to the stock market. morning, everybody. How's everyone doing today? I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll. I hope you guys are ready to go. Dynamic is the word of the day. Dynamic. D-I-N-M-A-I-C. Dynamic. Language of origin, Greek. The meaning of being flexible in every damn situation. That's what today's all about. No matter what situation we find ourselves in, if again that means we're absolutely striving, sprinting through again some fields of dandelions, then you know what? We're going to have some fun. But if we're backed against the corner, we're going to stay dynamic today. Traders, I'm excited to see what today brings us. You guys know the drill though. Already today, we're up $629. Already today, guys, $629, and we're just starting on off. We are just getting the party started. We are just getting ourselves moving here on this day. So, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this Thursday. It's Stocktober. I mean, traders, can I ask you guys a quick question, though? How many people here have been enjoying Stocktober? How many people here have been enjoying the volume of this month? How many people here have been enjoying the streams, have been feeling the enthusiasm? You guys have felt me inside you. That's what I want to make sure we get happening in Stocktober. That again, this energy, this enthusiasm, all of this, guys. I hope you guys have been absolutely loving it. So, I need everyone to get a little jacked up. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, smash that thumbs on up. If you guys are over on X, retweet it. Make sure we're all set. If you guys are on TradeCast, you sit there and you look beautiful because that's exactly who you are. Woo. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. Sitting here with $1 million smile, baby. All right. Now, as of this moment at 9:05 a.m., we want to see where is the buying volume truly going to take us. What are we going to see on this day? We got a few plays here, but I will say right now, it seems like a lot of the attention is over towards the blue chips. Now, why am I saying the blue chips? Well, because the S&P 500 just hit another record high. Team, this, I highly suggest that every single person, if you can, and I know, again, money doesn't grow on trees, but if you can, have two different accounts. Have one long-term investment account and have one day trading account. Your long-term investment account should be something that you rarely touch. Maybe you change investments every 6 months. Maybe you don't touch it for 2 years. Maybe you just let it rock. Now, of course, I have my long-term investment account, aka my retirement account. My retirement account, traders, I am letting that rock. Now, sure, I might change some plays here and there. You know, I sit down with a financial advisor, so when I'm 60 years old, I don't have to work another day in my life. Right? Both my parents right now, they're like 64 and 63. Neither of them have to work another day in their life. And the reason why is because they started saving up for retirement. They have a pension. They went through retirement. When they, again, worked their jobs throughout their whole entire life, they always had a little of their paycheck get taken away from their retirement. And now for X how many years they live, and I hope it's, again, a very long time. Of course, they're my parents. I love them. They never have to, again, work another day in their life. But at the same time, they also have friends. They have friends that are 70 years old, and they still have to wake up every single day. They are forced to go to a job. Right? We want to be able to have financial freedom, and that's where trading comes in. But at the same time, I always want to know that no matter what happens with my trading, no matter how great my trading goes, or maybe if I go through a little bit of a slugfest, that I'm still going to be able to say, hey, my long-term investments are, again, holding me up in every single way. So right now, you guys better believe, I've been holding NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is hitting new record highs. I'm holding the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is hitting record highs. I've been in on, as you guys know, Palantir. Palantir's coming up towards record highs. I've been holding Meta, and Meta's not at record highs, but it's still, again, a great play. I've been holding Amazon. Amazon hopefully coming back up towards record highs here soon. You know, these plays that are, again, we are watching and waiting and knowing that these are going to be able to hold. So I don't care if you guys are 18 years old right now, set up a retirement account. I don't care if you guys are 35, set up a retirement account. Even if you're 50, set up a retirement account, because in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you will be happy you did it. Okay? I wish I started earlier. I started my retirement account around like the age of 28. Now I'm 32. So it's been a few years, but at the same time, I wish I started when I was 20. I wish I started when I was 18. I wish I started when I was 12. Think about how much more money I would have had over the last 10 years, how explosive the S&P 500 has been. So I just don't want to miss out on these. And I don't want you guys to miss out on it either. So right now, again, I am talking about Amazon. I am talking about Google. I am talking about some of these blue chip plays because they have been relatively hot. And that's where a lot of the volume is at this moment. So let's actually go through this here, team. As you guys can see right now, let's go back to a 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame. We go right here. What do we see? BJDX goes from 190, spikes up towards 555. Not a bad spike in any sort of way. 190 to 555, this is where a lot of traders are at. BJDX does have a good credible press release behind it. It also is only 1.49 million in float. BJDX as of now is leading our charge. Now, what do I mean by our charge? The charge that we are going to be watching plays today. The charge as in these are going to be the stocks that we're going to be looking at. BJDX to me is number one. BAOS. Do I need this play? Not at all. I don't need BAOS. BAOS is going from $8.30 all the way down towards $4. This is not a stock that I need at this moment. This is not a stock I want. This is not a stock that's going to be making me any sort of money. What about AMBO? AMBO fading and falling. This stock is getting weaker. Don't really need it. So do I need BAOS? No. Do I need AMBO? No. Do I need YYAI? 25-cent stock came all the way crashing back on down yesterday? Answer is no. Do I need DGNX? The answer is no. All of these plays right here, team, I mean, DJNX decent. This play has been going on a big-time spike, but I guess what I'm trying to say here is BJDX is one of the few and far between. These are one of the plays that we are actually going to be watching here today. So let's head on over to Fox Runner to actually get a good idea of what is spiking, what is getting momentum, and what should we be watching. So this is how I find the top gainers every single day. We could see top gainers with news or filing. We do know right now, BJDX is currently leading the charge. BJDX, Deck, what was the press release? The press release right here stated that Blue Jay Diagnostics and Sanyo Seco expand strategic partnership to advance commercialization of Sympathy platform. So basically what we have right here is we do have that word partnership. That's all we need to know. Sure, you can read into this a little bit more, but we do know that we have a 3-star word. One of my favorite words, so I have it highlighted for me, is partnership. Partnership is one of those stocks that we're going to be watching, that we're going to be aware of, that we're going to be on top of. Let's continue to keep our eyes peeled on this to see if BJDX goes on any sort of spike or rip and run. All right, so BJDX, one of our favorites. Is there anything else that's looking good? Well, we're going from a 134% gain here and then dropping down to a 35% gain, then dropping on down towards a 20% gain. So it's not like there's going to be anything that's like our 100% favorite other than BJDX. Now, please don't get me wrong. There are some other plays that are gapping up right here. We do have BJDX up 134%, but then again, BAOS, that was the one that was dumping all the way on down. Only again up 41%. DGNX only up 30%. YYAI only up 30%. So a lot of these stocks gave a whole lot back. So right now you might be saying, Deck, so is BJDX really one of our only options? Well, let's again read into this a little bit more. We have our Thursday's watch list, everything you need to know here. So what does it say? It says Thursday's watch list. Volume is a little low this morning, following a slower day in the market yesterday. As of now, the majority of traders are watching BJDX for a rebreak of $5 and MNTS, as this is the most recent hottest mover. While these stocks have potential, please take into consideration the market conditions, which show lack of strong buying pressure and stocks being able to hold their new recent gains. We suggest also keeping SPRB, a previous top gainer, on your watch list this morning, as this has still been the strongest breakout so far this week. Okay, so a couple new ideas right here. Let's go ahead and take a look right now. What do we have? We have MNTS. MNTS right here. This stock, 170, spiked up to 230, unfortunately coming right back on down. So again, the stock had a spike and then started falling, and that's kind of what this is saying right here. It says, we are in a slower market conditions. We are showing a lack of buying pressure and the ability for stocks to be able to hold their new recent gains. Just like MNTS, it's hard for these plays to spike, hold their gains. A lot of them are coming right back on down. So what should we watch instead? Maybe we should watch a play that has been holding its gains, a stock that is looking good, a stock that maybe we want to continue to keep our eyes peeled on. SPRB. SPRB, I brought this play up yesterday a few times, and SPRB, this is one that's still alive. SPRB, this was again, we were live on Monday. Monday we were live, and this play went all the way from $10 and spiked up to $240. Does anyone here believe that maybe SPRB is going to start getting a little bit of a rally today? Could SPRB start spiking back up to $2, or are we going to start the descent? Are we going to start the drop and the fade and we start coming all the way back on down towards $1? Could we see that big descent right around the horizon? Possibilities. So SPRB, we will watch that $1 crack. We're going to see if this play can start falling back down towards 100, and if nothing holds its gains, yeah, absolutely. We could look for a short over on SPRB. Absolutely, guys. So let's see what else we have, though, right? Because, you know, it doesn't seem like there's anything that's too great. As for blue chips, the S&P 500 is coming off a record high day. We are seeing Rocket Lab, AMD, NVIDIA, CLPT, quantum stocks, and more all near record highs. Swing trades have been safe, smart investments over the past month. October 29th is set to be the rate cut. So, right here, team. I don't know if you guys have seen some of these just yet, but Rocket Lab. Look at Rocket Lab. All the way up at record highs, up next to $68 yesterday. Insane. Guys, AMD. AMD has now broken its all-time high up towards 237. AMD might get some hype today. That thing starts breaking 240. We might start getting some hype. AMD, take a look on a weekly chart. Go over to AMD, right-click, time frame, go over to weekly chart, and this was the old all-time high right here. Guess what? We're breaking above that. How many people got involved in AMD at the price of 100, at the price of 112, at the price of 78? Look what AMD is doing right now. Absolutely insane, right? So we do have MNTS unfortunately fading and falling. Let's just go through these top gainers. MNTS fading and falling. MRM right here fading and falling. And we have BJDX, which is trying its best to stay alive. BJDX, which is trying its best to be able to hold on up. BJDX to be able to see if this play is going to be able to go on any sort of big rip and run and spike and climb. So right here, team, I'm excited. I'm pumped to see what we have, because right now, BJDX is it. We have a lot of these other plays. Let's actually go through a lot of these and just make sure that we're not missing anything. We already know MNTS had the spike and drop. MNTS was awarded $5.1 million from NASA. Wall Street this morning. Wall Street, some key points to be aware of. The S&P 500 closed at record highs yesterday. Cool. Some other, again, key points. Federal Reserve officials almost completely aligned on the decision to cut rates by 0.25% last month. There wasn't as much as consensus as what's come next. So for anyone who does not know, October 29th, this October 29th, in about, 20 days from now? Is today the 9th right now? Yes. In 20 days from now, we are supposed to get the next Fed rate cut. Okay? So we can actually scroll on down a little bit. MRM went on a little bit of a spike. Let me scroll on down real quickly, just so that we can see this. And we can actually see, hold on. I believe it's here. Here it is. It says Fed officials saw another 2 interest rate cuts by the end of 2025. As of right now, there's a 92% chance that we cut rates on October 29th. A 92% chance that we cut rates and we, again, keep lowering this interest. And if we lower these interest rates, guess what? That's going to be absolutely fantastic, absolutely amazing. So, October 29th, definitely going to be good, absolutely awesome. Little side note, keep your eyes also on this, traders. Electricity stocks are remaining extremely hot. So, team, as we know that that AI has been around, electricity, high demand, low supply equals buying. All great investors can think outside the box. They don't always go for the shiny object. They think what is making the object shine. So what we're talking about right here is AI. AI is great. AI is fantastic. AI has been game-changing. But at the same time, team, AI uses so much electricity. Notice, since AI basically became mainstream in 2022, 2023, look how much electricity has risen. Look how much electricity has risen per state. Look what electricity is going to continue to do. And that's because we are using so much electricity when we, again, type in a prompt. Type in a prompt on Google's AI, or type in a prompt on ChatGPT, or type in a prompt anywhere. It uses a lot of electricity to be able to get this answer. So who's really benefiting out of this? CEG, SMEY, GE, Power. Let's take a look at some of these plays right here, team. Take a look. Right? PW, right? PWR. Look at this electricity play that has just been absolutely dominating throughout this year. Look at GE. I mean, these plays, guys, have been absolutely insane moneymakers since AI has been introduced in the game. So if you are looking for maybe some long-term investments, that's something that you guys might want to be aware of. This is also very cool as well. Take a look at this. It says Wall Street Bets top 4 stocks. These are all the top 4 stocks on Reddit's Wall Street Bets, and they've all been major winners. AMD, major winner, Wall Street Bets. Rocket Lab, major winner, Wall Street Bets. Open, major winner, Wall Street Bets. And SoundHound, a major winner over on Wall Street Bets. So again, sometimes people say, hey, Dek, you don't want to look at Wall Street Bets. Those are just random stocks that people are trying to pump on up. Sometimes. But at the same time, sometimes they're also great credible plays that, get a lot of hype and get a lot of momentum and get a lot of action, and people get excited about them and say, you know what, these are going to be plays that are going to be absolutely fantastic. So these are, again, some of the top plays, and AMD's at record highs, Rocket Lab's at record highs, Open is setting itself on a bull flag, and SON is starting to build. So you guys want to keep your eyes peeled over on that. Now, what else do we have here, traders? Headlines of today. You guys can go ahead and check into that a little bit. TTRX also has a new IPO play here today. TTRX did again go on a nice spike up towards $33, back on down to $24. TTRX is maybe another play that you want to have on your over on your watch list, just because it's a newer IPO play. So TTRX went from $16 up to $35, back down to $25. TTRX is extremely active. You could also short this play if we really want to. Might be a play that we just want to jump in, short it back down to $19, $18, $17. This one might be able to make us a lot of money very quickly. So TTRX, let's add that to the list. Lastly, I thought this was cool, guys. This was I thought a good alert here. CLPT, is this a monster in the making? Really quickly, let me show you the CLPT chart. CLPT, this one just started exploding less than a month ago. This is about 2 weeks here. 2 weeks of spiking, 2 weeks of craziness. The stock has gone from $12 to $30. Now, why is that? CLPT, this is, again, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty awesome. Could we be seeing one of the greatest medical breakthroughs of all time? Now, little backstory here. We do have Neuralink. Neuralink is Elon Musk's company. Now, what Neuralink is so popular for, what they're so excited, what they're so hyped up about, is that Neuralink is going to take a little tiny chip, be able to have a small incision in your brain, and that chip is going to allow you to do things that you weren't able to do before. For instance, imagine if someone has a stroke and they lose all left side of their feeling in their body. And now we put this chip and they're able to get that feeling back. Imagine if someone was able to walk, God forbid, got into a car accident and lost the feeling in their legs. And now they go through the surgery, and with this chip, it can power up that part of the brain again, and now they're able to walk. Imagine if you are imagine if you're in a wheelchair or a quadriplegic, and now all of a sudden you're able to think about things that you want to move, let's say, on your controller, and it's able to do it. This is like what's so big about this technology. This is what's so amazing about it. Now, the thing is, Neuralink has already had success. Neuralink is an actual working product. But the thing is, unfortunately, Neuralink is not anything that you can invest in. Unfortunately, this is a private company. But the closest thing out there is CLPT. So this is what we call sympathy trading. Sympathy trading is going to be the act of trading into the same field or investing into the same field as another successful company in the idea that that whole entire sector is going to be risen up. Now, we can't invest in Neuralink, but we can invest in CLPT. A great example of this would be like, hey, Dek, I want to invest into SpaceX. SpaceX is Elon Musk's company. We know, again, flying rockets into space, setting up satellites, maybe space exploration could be $1 trillion company, $1 trillion sector. And we can't invest in a SpaceX. So people are instead invested in Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab got so big because SpaceX was doing so well, and people said, well, I can't invest in a SpaceX, so let me do Rocket Lab. What if we see the same exact effect over on CLPT and Neuralink? Neuralink, guys, it's doing so well. CLPT is the closest thing to it, where they are working on chips and incisions in the brain to be able to place chips for you to be able to do certain things. So again, CLPT is having some breakthroughs. Neuralink is having some breakthroughs, and that's why these are going on big rips and runs. So another very cool idea, I think, for you guys to just be aware of this, and that you guys will be all set. But I think that's all, you know, everything that we need to be aware of right now. You know, I mean, I just wanted to go over all of these plays, make sure every single trader is ready to rock and roll. But yeah, let's type out a watch list here together. So let's just go with Dekmar's watch list. Dekmar's watch list. Let's see what we have here. Ready to rock and roll. What am I watching on this day? Yes, I am 100% watching BJDX. Yes, I am 100 watching SPRB. I'm also, I want to be watching here, what was that? TTRX. TTRX. I'm watching BJDX, SPRB, TTRX, and I also want to just kind of throw on AMD. You know, so these are kind of like my starting stocks right here. These are the plays that I think, you know, could possibly go on some sort of rip and run. And also, what, is GLTO starting to squeeze right now? Woo, look at GLTO, guys. GLTO. This one just came on back. So again, we got to add GLTO to the watch list at this moment. This thing started just getting a little bit of a squeeze and starting to get a little bit of a rip and run. Now, Dek, what's going on with GLTO? GLTO was a top gainer over on Tuesday, fell back on down. Now getting a little bit of a squeeze here over on GLTO. So this is a play that definitely could get those random short squeezes. GLTO here. Let's see how much a share is. Guys, give me 2 minutes. My mouse keeps on dying. It's like blinking red here. So the mouse keeps on dying. The last thing I want to do is get inside of a trade and then all of a sudden my mouse dies, especially on a play like GLTO or something. So I'm going to go change this battery out. Give me 2 seconds here. Let me actually see what type of battery I even need on this thing. I need one single AA battery. I randomly have batteries on my desk here. Will this work? I don't. These might all be dead, but we will see. These might not work. I don't see a mouse anywhere. Okay, I will be right back, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to go look for a battery. GLTO getting a lot of hype.